Shalom, call hello, Yahweh Shem Shai Kodash, double honors to the apostles and other bishops of GMS, even the elders that came before them that taught us truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, to the Aqua there, listen, learn, and being a pillar of rest. 144,000 and 1/3, the hopeful elect of Israel. My brother Yahshua, shalom and salutations to you all. Today is April 20th, and something about martial law was floated. So let's investigate that real quick. Tomorrow, I'm going to disappear for a couple of weeks. All right, I'm going to basically turn myself in and be the coward of the county. All right, so 2 weeks, y'all. See you in 2, or maybe before. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Matthew 24:6, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So, martial law. What is martial law? If they surround you, right, with a barbed wire and a armored machine gun toting Gurkha troops, right? You understand you're in a prison camp, and then if they come and grab you up, you're a prisoner of war, basically. Letting you know that you're in a war, you're in a war zone. When do they call for martial law? Ask the Japanese and the internment camps. Because this is where this thing is going, right? Oh, Trump is going to call for martial law. What? On Hitler's birthday, which is today. Okay? And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. All right? That whole Trump thing, that's a war. There's a war between the left and the right. There's a war between Donald Trump and humanity right now. But these are wars and rumors of war. See that you've been in trouble for all these things that's come to pass, but the end is not yet. Let's examine this. I know I'm talking a lot, but bear with me. What I want to do is explain what today actually is. So, Trump brings martial law April 20. Where does that lead us? What does it mean? Trump brings martial law. Okay, what it actually means is that after, okay, what it actually means is after, see, look at all, 4 weeks. 4 weeks ago, will Trump declare martial law on 420? Why? Because 420 is 90 days into Trump's presidency, where they can assess the situation down on the border, okay, and say, we don't like the way things are going on. I'm going to bring in the Insurrection Act, through which can be used to bring in martial law whenever he wants to, not today, okay? What today is 90 days. The understanding of this is that today is the end of 90 days of his presidency, and now they have to take accountability, right? And now they can make moves to make things, to make changes after the assessment, okay? That's what's being done, okay? So, and the way that they're hyping it, see, they're not saying anything about 90 days, right? Let's play this. This is ET now, whatever the hell that is. One day ago. Let's see if they mention 90 days into his administration. That's what this thing is about.
And is approaching for the US on a big
Salakia.
Trump on the day he took office.
Salakia, let me see.
The deadline is approaching for the US on a big order signed by Trump on the day he took office. There is a speculation that Trump administration might invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807. So discussions on whether martial law could be declared on April 20 are going on in the US.
Okay, so that doesn't make sense, but this is scaremongering. Okay. Uh, Discussions over martial law imposition on April. No, no, no. Martial law imposition. This is all bullshit after Trump's order. What order? Okay. Order to what? So
These two terms are triggering confusion and concerns across the country. So let's understand them in basic language in a way that a 13-year-old would also understand. First, what is this order? Trump signed an order proclaiming a national emergency on US Mexico border. One of the clauses in the order tasks Secretaries of Defense and Homeland Security with presenting a comprehensive report.
this is it. So he signed into law an order, an executive order, that 90 days, what are they going to do? They're going to present a report on what's going on at the border. That's what today is. Stop right there. That's what today is. So to make a jump from, well, we're going to make an assessment and give a report today, right? To, well, they're bringing in martial law. No, no. The martial law comes in, right? If he enacts the Insurrection Act. If he enacts the Insurrection Act, it opens up the situation that he can bring in martial law. Not that today, April 20th, he's bringing in martial law. That's a big ass rumor, a big ass stretch. Could he bring it in next week? Could he bring in martial law next week at the next Trump rally that they will ignite into a melee or make it look like it? Yes. Are they going to do it today? No. No, they're not. Next week at the Trump rally, after after all the legislation is in place and you can do things legally, then you do it. You don't do it that day. No. Now, what this could be used for is to let you know, to be telegraphing what could potentially happen next week. This is the point that I'm making. All right, so that's what today is. Yeah, it's Hitler's birthday. Yeah, it's a 90-day. This is the end of the 90-day deadline for the Secretary of Defense and Homeland Security to present their report. That's all it is. But what they're turning it into, right? They will obscure this and then make a jump from, oh, we're just presenting a report to, these niggas are bringing in martial law today. See? See that? We can go right here real quick. Sirach 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. What's going on? This is scaremongering. This is fear-mongering.
Within 90 days, detailing the condition of the southern border and suggesting any necessary steps to secure a total operational control. Now, this 90-day deadline ends on April 20th, which means that the report will be submitted on April 20th. Now, what's important is that the directive specifically mentions the Insurrection Act of 1807 as a.
So that's a whole bunch of, see, what they're doing is they're just getting laws in place. They're getting legislation in place. He signed the executive order, had to wait 90 days. This is the 90-day. Now you go to the next thing, which is the Insurrection Act. If you enact that, then you can go to martial law if you want to. So that's next week. Okay, now here's the thing. What happened? What happened? How do we tell time? Let's get this real quick, and then I'm going to end it. Okay. So what are we looking for right now? Okay. Well, now that the law is in place, right? Now that the law is in place and you can legally bring in martial law, even though you don't give a fuck about what's going on in the courts and you're thumbing your nose at judges and shit, which is crazy. What am I going measuring? Are we measuring the time? What do we do? I think, was I going to 9? What am I setting up here? I forgot. Talked myself out of it. Second Ezra is 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure the other time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass which I've told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay, so yeah. They could potentially, I forgot what was I going to show right now? I was going to show a video of, I know where I was going. Salaki, bear with me for a moment. What was supposed to happen yesterday that didn't happen? See? They were supposed to be ramping up a reason to bring in martial law. What would be the reason? This thing right here. This. Okay? If this was effective, okay? If this thing right here was effective, and they would have had Edomites on one side as far as you can see, and then Jake on the other side as far as you can see, if this thing right here, which wound up being a bust, this is how you measure the time diligently. There was nobody here, and whoever was there was out in their car hiding their face, letting you know they're not ready for this big race war that they want right now. Understand? Had this been ready, had both sides been full and ready to fight each other like they're trying to make it appear that it is on social media. Social media, the whole nation is ready to destroy each other. This right here showed the truth. Nobody showed up, so they're not ready yet. Whatever happens at the border today, could they just immediately, if this thing was ready to boil over like they're trying to make it seem, they'd be ready for that martial law thing. But look, how much time do we have? When you go into who was there and how empty that place was, okay? So this is a failed psyop. Look at this motherfucking, this is the biggest nigga there, and he's on his side. Look at this psyop. Okay, nobody was there. What does that mean? That means there's time. Okay? It means the Most High hasn't allowed this devil to ignite both sides. Jake isn't completely roused up. Jake is mad, but Esau didn't show up to the fight. You know who showed up to this? Antifa showed up to this and showed, right, what goes on. Remove the crowd, right? Who do you find? You find the agent provocateurs ready to kick that thing off proper. That's what you saw out of this situation. So this was a failed psyop to ignite both sides, but both sides didn't show up. Antifa showed up, right? And threatened the cops and all of that. So it didn't go as planned. They're not ready yet. Jake is not roused up yet. Esau didn't show up. Esau like this. This might be a trap. This might be a Jan 6 trap. So they're not roused up yet. They got to go back to the drawing board. What are we doing? We're measuring the time. Okay. So is Trump going to bring martial law today? They're not ready yet. They need an event. What is that event? The very next event could be the next Trump rally or protest, hands off, 50-51, whatever they call, event where they could turn up. And now that they got, they can break martial law, is in place lawfully, which I don't really understand the whole lawful thing because they're snubbing the judges right now. They're snubbing the court. What does lawful mean at this point? You understand? Anyway, the point I'm making right now, ain't no martial law today. They're not ready for martial law yet. Okay? They're getting it in place. Okay? They're getting their ducks in a row. Are they ready to launch? Not today. That's the point. All right? But don't sleep on this devil. Okay? Let's get that real quick on the way out, and I'll close. Revelation 12 and 12. We all know the drill. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell on the earth and on the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. He might have to call it at any time. Right? He might have to call martial law even when he ain't ready. But it's in place. Today, what today was, we jumped through that 90-day hoop. That's all it is. So with that, we hope the elect will edify you, brothers and sisters. Shalom.